Welcome to the Unveiling of Grace program of the Thoma Youth Ministry of the Mumbai Diocese. Tomorrow we will be meditating from the Gospel according to St. John, chapter 21, verses 1 to 14, based on the theme, Jesus Christ who restores to the rightful place. After the resurrection, Jesus had already appeared to his disciples twice. But this passage shows a different kind of encounter, one that is deeply personal, reflective, and restorative. Simon Peter, once called to be a fisher of men, is found going back to being a fisherman. The others follow him. They toil all night and catch nothing. But Jesus stood on the shore, enters the scene, and transforms their empty nets into abundance, and more importantly, the confusion in their hearts into clarity. Let us ponder upon few insights from this passage. Firstly, when life feels unclear, don't go backward. Simon Peter said, "I am going out to fish." Peter was a natural leader, but even leaders can feel lost. Instead of waiting for direction from the risen Christ, Peter returns to what is familiar, fishing. Sometimes we too, when life feels confusing or when we face failure, go back to our old boats, past habits, old sins, comfortable patterns, or careers not aligned with God's calling. Are you doing what God has called you to do? Are you drifting back to old habits because you have lost sight of your spiritual purpose? Is your job, course, or goal chosen prayerfully or just because you are comfortable with it? Secondly, who are you following? And they said, "We will go with you." Peter wasn't alone. Others followed him back to the boat. Sometimes, when one among us strays, we follow them instead of lovingly helping them stay grounded. That's what happened here. Are you influencing your friends to pursue God's will? Or are you being influenced to drift? Are you someone who helps a wandering friend come back, or do you drift with them? Even as they worked together, they got nothing. Following a misguided direction, even with good company, still leads to emptiness. Thirdly, Jesus comes looking for the lost. Early in the morning, Jesus stood on the shore. Even when we lose sight of our purpose, Jesus never loses sight of us. He comes, not with judgment, but with food, direction, and love. Jesus doesn't abandon you when you get it wrong. He draws near, often quietly and unexpectedly, to restore you. Jesus calls out tenderly, "Friends, haven't you any fish?" He helps them succeed again, not in judgment, but in grace. This miracle is a reminder of their calling in Luke 5. Jesus is saying, "Remember who you are." And finally, restoration comes when we make ourselves available. "Now come and have breakfast." Jesus invites them to share a meal. He meets both their physical and spiritual needs. But more importantly, he prepares the way for Peter's reinstatement, which happens in verses 15 to 19. Before Jesus gives direction, he offers fellowship. Be available. Be honest. Let Jesus feed you before you feed others. Dear friends, no matter how far you have strayed, how empty your nets feel, or how confused your direction seems, Jesus is waiting on the shore. He is not angry. He is not done with you. He is calling you back to your rightful place in His mission. Think, am I walking in the calling God gave me, or have I returned to my old boat? When my friends drift, do I help them or follow them? Am I available to Jesus so He can restore and use me? May God bless us. Amen.